So we're here at WrestleCon, and I'm with the legendary Tony Schiavone. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you for calling me a legend. I appreciate that. I'm doing very well. It's good to be with you.
Tonight, live on TBS.
You are pretty much the most recognizable voice of one of the biggest promotions in the world right now.
Right.
And it's amazing that you're putting more eyes and more, exposure and all that. So I wanted to ask you, do you feel like the importance of broadcasters has been more recognized widely in wrestling recently?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we have been, we have good announcers in wrestling right now. And I feel that as announcers, we learn so much each and every week that we do it. And I've learned a lot from Excalibur. I learned a lot from Jim Ross, JR throughout the years. But I do believe the announcers are important, that we're continuing to be recognized and be interviewed, and it really means a lot.
I know it's a very broad question, but what would you say constitutes a good announcer? Good broadcaster?
First of all, I think you have to really genuinely be excited about the product that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that you can't just do wrestling announcing not knowing the product. I think you have to be a fan. And I was a fan growing up of wrestling, so I knew it and I loved it. And I think that being very genuine, excited about what you see is very, very important to be an announcer. I think it's the most important thing you can be as an announcer is excited. Genuinely excited about what you're watching.
Yeah, and we're in a time right now where a lot of announcers, especially the younger ones, are characters in themselves.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good tendency, and do you think where does the line lie between adding to the product and not taking away from it with your own?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the younger ones want to be characters. They have to, if they establish themselves as a character first, and then get into the announcing, I think it works that way.
Yeah.
Jesse the Body Ventura was a character before he became an announcer. Bobby Heenan was a character before he became an announcer. So you got to be established as a character first, then become an announcer, because that's how you become quote unquote over. I don't think you can just start wrestling announcing as a character and people are going to accept you. I don't think that will happen. So that's very important.
Yeah. You have dozens, decades of experience in this.
A lot.
And AEW, where you're at right now, and our age is only 5 years old.
Right.
And from the outside perspective, I personally, as a viewer, noticed that the announcing work is extremely, it's significantly better than anything else in terms of televised product right now. So what is different? How does the AEW treat announcing differently to where it works as well?
I think we treat it as a legitimate sport. We use statistics. We talk about their past. We mention where they wrestled on the independent circuit. So I think we realize that there's a whole wrestling world out there aside from us. So we do not just confine ourselves as announcers to talking about what they're doing in the ring for us. We talk about their background, where they trained, if they wrestled in Japan, if they wrestled in Mexico, and all of that is very important. And I think that makes it more of a legitimate sport. And I think that's why we're so different in what we do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to watch you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.